Well, let's start with the milestone. What does 40 goals mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. It's something I don't think I would have, I even thought of before the season and last summer. So it's obviously special, but it doesn't, that comes with, our team playing the right way and having the right mindset.
You scored a bunch of goals early in your career, and obviously you're trying to get established, and every goal in the NHL is a big one. But what does it mean to score big goals in big games to contribute to the cause for a team that's doing what you guys are doing now?
Yeah, it means a lot. Just being one of those guys that, I expect to score goals and produce for our team, and I want to be one of the guys they can count on in a big moment to go out there and be able to score a big goal. So, I always think about that.
Scoring your goals now, Brock, is a lot different than before. Not only have you become a more complete player, playing on the inside, getting those tip goals, how much satisfaction do you take from that? In fact, it's not just the 40 goals, but where you have to score them in today's game?
Yeah, I think it's pretty common where, most of those, the guys on the top of the goal scoring charts score their goals from. It's within 10 feet of the net, and you got to find a way to get there and establish body positioning and find a way to put the puck in the net.
Did you maybe have an inkling on opening night this would be a different season for you?
I mean, it was just one game, but I don't know. I didn't really know what to expect throughout the whole year. Like I said, I was trying to take it day by day and just have the right mindset. And I'm obviously very happy that I got to 40.
Have you seen the list of the 10 franchise players who have hit 40 here? It's quite impressive. Have you had time to reflect on that?
I try not to spend too much time, but I don't know. It's an honor, and it's a special moment for me. And the next morning I woke up and it was a pretty cool feeling. So, but like I said, I'm still focused on the team game and continuing to build that.
When you scored the goal, it was almost like not a hesitation, but it was kind of like, okay, it wasn't over exuberant. Were you just in the moment?
I was just, I
didn't do the big selling.
I didn't, because I was just happy that Petey had such a good screen.
It was a big goal, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, like the way that game was going, and then just in that moment, you want to be the guy that scores those goals for this group.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, they got a 2-0 lead there, and we had a couple good power plays to get us back in, and then they scored, and we wanted to have a response, and to get one shortly after that third goal to tie it up again was, I think, big for our group.
JT said,
your mom or your grandma after the game, or you have to wait till the next day?
So my grandma messed up, and she didn't realize we had a game, so my mom called her after, and she shot out of bed and watched the rest of the game. So that was pretty funny. But my mom was thrilled.
did you get back at JT? He told us that you wouldn't score 40 without him as a line mate.
Well, I have 4 disallowed goals because of him. So.
But Rick said after the game that you were dealing with something, that you'd been banged up earlier. He was proud of you for playing through. Is it just that time of year right now that everybody's dealing with something? And you're
Yeah, for sure. It's late in the season, and I think we've always talked about over the years that how hard it is to maintain your body, and I think that's what I try to teach the young guys. You always got to stay on top of it. So it's just something minor, and just taking care of it, and I'm feeling better.
It's still weird for us. You're saying, I tell this to the young guys. You're the longest tenured guy, and you've been through a lot of the downs. You guys have the division title in sight now. What would that mean to you?
Oh, that'd mean a lot. Just from where we've been the last couple of years to really trying to set that standard and have that mindset each and every night, and just to be in this position, I think it shows a lot about our group that we've had here this year. And but with that being said, we got to finish strong here.
You're one of the 6 guys here who played in the bubble in 2020. Not exactly the experience that maybe everybody was looking for because of COVID. Having said that, how much are you looking forward to the Rockin' building and everything that comes with the playoffs?
It's really exciting, and being in Vancouver so long and getting to meet people, and they always talk about being in the playoffs, and we haven't given that to them, so we finally get to do that. I think it's something that we can start to look forward to here coming up, and when I think the time comes around, we're all going to be ready to roll.
Brock, now that you've reached 40 goals and you know what it feels like to be a 40-goal scorer, just curious what your perspective on what Austin Matthews is doing to get to 66 at this stage of the season?
Yeah, I try to comprehend it, but it's pretty hard to comprehend. You know, though he scores pretty much every game, and you know it's honestly impressive. And you know, he's such a smart hockey player and just a pure goal scorer. It's yeah, I can't really talk about it. I can't imagine what it's like.
Artie's the starter tonight. I don't know if you could confirm, and if so, maybe take us through the decision making there.
Yeah, they're just getting off the ice. I'll talk to Clarkie one final, but you know, we haven't made it 100%, but it looks that way. But I've talked to Clarkie one more time.
Lindy, in tonight?
Same thing. I'll talk to him after the skate, but we targeted. This was kind of the game or the next game, so I'll see how he feels, and then we'll go from there.
Rick, going up against a team now that's out of the playoffs this part of the season, how do you lock everybody in for this group? Is it a different thing from what you guys just had in the game against Vegas?
No, we got to be locked in. I mean, we had a meeting about it today. You got to be focused. You know, there's no reason for us not to be focused tonight. It's a big game for us, and we have to have the same approach we did against Vegas. Straightforward.
One thing Arizona does extremely well is their power play. They've been top 15, top half of the league all year long. How much emphasis do you put on the penalty kill tonight as something as kind of a challenge before the playoffs here?
Yeah, it's not even that. It's I think they've been one of the highest scoring teams. They've other than a blip there last night. What are they? 8-4 or something. They've had a great record the last 12 games. They're a sneaky team that scores a lot. Clayton Keller is dangerous. You know, Schmaltz. Those guys can score. I had those guys. They're good, very good hockey players. So they're really good rush team. And when you play a team that's really good off the rush, if you're not focused, they can burn you. So that's kind of the emphasis. As much as their power play and our PK, it's the overall game for us.
When you played in the bubble in 2020, you talked about this the other day, the value of a third line and how it can make a major impact in the NHL in the playoffs, and it actually has for many years. What was your third line? Do you remember in the bubble in Edmonton? Especially when you played
It
Colorado?
might have been guard, might have been on it. I can't remember.
Okay.
You know, we had a kind of a different team, but if you just go from experience, the Pittsburgh days, you know, Kessel, Bonino, and Hagelin destroyed teams, and you know that's why the third line is, you know, you can go in history of. I mean, listen, your team, your first line's got to play great. Your goaltender to win a Stanley Cup, but I just always feel that third line is a huge key in any kind of playoff series. So. Or in any type of, you know, that type of pressure type of games, those third lines, you get good matchups with them.
Mikheyev talked of his experience with the Leafs and the fact that he thought it really suits his game, and he seems to be playing more on instinct. The speed is back, but he's playing more on instinct. What kind of an impact do you think Mick could make?
Yeah, I think his anticipation has been a lot better the last 3-4 games. He's anticipating, he's playing more predictable. When you have a fast guy playing predictable hockey, he looks fast. He's fast as it is, but he looks a lot faster. And I think when he waits too much, I think that's when he gets in trouble. So I just hope he gets on a roll, because I think his last 2-3 games, he's really noticeable. And I think he knows where the puck's going, and he's going. He doesn't have that delay in his game.
Do you need a real veteran element on your third line? Obviously, Lindholm going is your obvious center, but you have options on the right side. Pods could play in the third, but do you like a veteran, been in the playoffs type of
Yeah, I mean,
there?
you coach what you got, but I think it's important. You know, your third line has to have high hockey IQ, because sometimes they're against the best players, and sometimes it might be against the 5-6 defenseman on the other team. So there's some good matchups there you got. So yeah, hockey IQ is big on the third line, 100%.
Rick, you spent a few years with the Coyotes. I don't know how much you've seen, but there's been some relocation rumors. What do you remember about the hockey culture and the market down there when you were with the team?
Well, I played at 2000, so I saw, you know, we had some good teams there, and the buzz. So, you know, and then I think they went to the Western Finals with Dave Tippett. They had a really good team. You know, it's there. It's too bad it's just been so unstable. I think people are tired of the instability, because, I mean, what better place to sell hockey in there? The players love it. It's a great lifestyle. It's a healthy lifestyle, and they have great fans there if it's stable. I don't know what's going to happen. It would suck if they left because it can be a really good hockey market.
Quinn Hughes, I know you gave him
Yeah.
a maintenance day yesterday. Do we kind of sometimes take for granted, like the minutes he logs? It seemed in that game the other night when you guys were down 2, he was the guy that kind of willed the start of the comeback. Healthy, productive. Like, do we often take that for granted just in terms of what this guy's able to do at this time of year?
Yeah, 100%. But if you look at his game, and we've played him a lot, logged a lot of minutes. I think he was around 22. Last game, 20 around that, which is, if we could keep that number right now, that'd be really good. He's going to get higher minutes sometimes. It depends on the game. But he changed a bunch of his stuff in the summer, even his diet. I think the last month, it looks like he's got another gear. Like, some guys get tired at the end of the year that, you got to give him rest. But I honestly feel because of his diet, the way he's trained, he looks not even tired on the ice. He's been out there for 1:10, and he has enough juice to get back. So I attribute that to his training and his diet for him to be being able to play. It's sustainable. I really do.
Rick, circling back on Arizona, you talked about it's a potential market, a great market, but they've only had like 1 or 2 really good teams that took deep runs in playoffs. How much do you think a lack of success has hurt that team in that market?
Yeah, I think that you could say that a lot of places, of course. I mean, you got to make fans believe, right? And I think they've only had a couple. You're right, a couple of successful seasons in a 20. Was it 25 years they've been there? So yeah, I mean that's a big part of it. I mean, but I will say the minor hockey there is big. Like Austin Matthews, I think him being born there and playing out of that has I have some buddies that coach there, and the Arizona minor league hockey program is really good. And they got a great facility, Ice Den. They just need more of those facilities to really make it grow. But I think the team's success obviously is going to make it different. Look at Vegas. I mean, their minors, the kids' program now is getting bigger and bigger. Pittsburgh, the same thing. I remember they were bankrupt. I played there. I mean, it's huge now, and I think because of the crest.
Well, you look at Nashville. I mean, they've started
Nashville,
a hockey
I think
high
it's the
school
crest,
program.
Yeah.
The other thing too, when you look at that market, a lot of people like to pile on to Phoenix, but unless you go there and kind of experience it, you kind of get why the NHL is trying to make it work there, right?
Yeah, one of my worst pet peeves is like I coach the trainers, the team services guys, the people they're first class, they're unreal, and sometimes they go down with the ship, right? It's like, it sucks there, the organization sucks. I mean, they're quality people there in that organization. That's what I hate hearing, that how bad it's there. Well, the people that work there are unreal, and I think the team is. I think the coach has done a terrific job there. I really do, for the circumstance that he's handed. So if they can somehow figure that out, it could be a hell of a franchise.